Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1878, 1878. I'm your host, Mike Matthews. The name of this show is called
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And you're going, hey, what's all that noise and racket in the background? We're at Cafe Anyway. It's somewhere in Podcaster Valley today, and I haven't done it from Podcaster Valley in a while. I'll have to do that soon. And there's a band that's called Walk the Moon, and they have that song Shut Up and Dance With Me. But here's the interesting fact.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Their songs, they've got a lot of songs. They released a lot of singles, but still they're only known for Shut Up and Dance With Me. So
Mike's
what does that mean?
Daily
Are they a good band?
Podcast.
Are they an awful band?
Yeah.
Do they sound a lot like Panic at the Disco and every other band that sounds like that? I guess. This is why I'm not a pop singer. Does this podcast sound like all the other podcasts? No, it will not. I defy you to find a podcast that sounds exactly like this one. You can call me 336MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast is not, or is sometimes. But I did realize last evening that there is this little thing called doubt. And sometimes it gets the better of us. Sometimes we shouldn't doubt others. I think what I do is I have my skepticism, but I'll let someone do something. I'll let you prove me wrong. And my lovely lady friend proved me wrong yesterday. She came up with an interesting device that we were afraid Basil might release some liquids in the middle of the night, let's just say, because he hadn't gone earlier in the day, and usually he goes, and he didn't, and he went to bed, and, well, things can happen if we let that go. So she developed this. She used a diaper, chopped it up, taped it to something else, and whatnot.
And here's today's podcast picture.
I don't have the schematics in front of me, but I will tell you that it worked, and I applaud her. But the podcast picture is not of that or the schematics. It is of the wonderful Huntsville, Alabama. I forget what this is called, if this is Big Cove Park or something. I tried to look it up, but I didn't have, at the time I took this picture 10 years ago, I did not have the, on, the GPS. I don't think there was a GPS on my camera at that point. They didn't have that prevalent yet. Smartphones weren't really prevalent yet. So, but I did take a picture of this. I did a little excursion. My wife at the time did not like to go on little excursions like I did, and she would rather stay home. So I would go and do a little exploring. There's Basil. Basil was not with me at the time. I did not get him till later, actually the next year, 2010. But this picture is of this wonderful, that's a very dry basil we just heard, by the way, thanks to the invention my lovely lady friend made. Anyway, yeah, Cafe Anyway, that is the picture of this little bench sitting at this park. And I've been thinking a lot about Alabama lately because, well, I may or may not own property in Alabama. And I may or may not have to do some investment in this property now after 10 years that I've had it there as a rental property, which I may or may not have had. And yes, there is some costs that are going to be, well, put upon me that I will have to take care of. I'm not looking forward to that. So I've been thinking about Alabama lately. And do I want to sell the house? No. Are you going to offer me millions and millions of dollars? Then I want to sell the house. But right now, it's great as a rental that I may or may not have. But there are going to be costs imparted upon me that I need to take care of as a renter that I may or may not be as a landlord. There are costs. And so, yes, it's good to own property, and this is the little money section of the show. It's good to own property if you can do it. In my 30s, late 40s, or early 40s, I had the opportunity to start buying some property, and I did. And that expression, you can debate it all you want, but they aren't making any new land. But yet they are making new land. It's Somebody brought up a very good argument against that old saying. They're not making any more property. They're not making any more land. But it's weird because the markets, the economy that we live in, when we go through recessions and up economies, down economies, property, the cost goes, of course, up and down. But in those times when the property is really high, you really kick yourself when you're renting and your stupid landlord increases the rent and you're, God, I got to own some property. But remember, when you own property, it's taxes, it's insurance, it's, do you rent it out? And then you have a renter that might be an idiot. And that's always there. And believe me, it's there. I have had good renters. I've had bad renters. I've had some really bad renters. And I'm just one person out of the whole mix. There might be someone that's never had a bad renter. I thought I had a streak of good renters for a long time. And I may or may not have rented out a room in the house that I live in California. And that went well. The first tenant I had rented out a room. The first tenant was awful. The other two were fantastic, incredible, wonderful people. So you never know, right? It's a world. It's a crapshoot. It's a mix that we live in. Are you willing to take that chance? I think you are, because you can get a lot out of it from not only a money standpoint, but also there are lessons you learn in life, and there are friendships you make, and it just enhances your life, I think. You just have so many colors that are added to your boring, drab as hell life. Hey, on that note, doubting. So don't doubt certain things like doubting your, what do you call it? Investments. Don't invest in stupid stuff. Of course, you don't know the stupid stuff. I mean, do your research. Have a backup plan, I guess is what I'm saying. But then, here's the other thing. What also makes transitioning here, not from a male to a female to a something else, no. To a gender inspecific thing, no. I'm transitioning to animal friends. As we are just about to go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valleyton. My lovely lady friend showed me a bunch of these animal friends animals that you would never think could be friends. There's video now. Everybody's got video recording devices in their phones. So they capture these amazing things. Like this rhinoceros. There's like a ram or a goat or a yak. I don't know my farm animals. And it's skipping along. And the rhinoceros mimics it and is like dancing along with this. It was the craziest thing. It's on YouTube. I know you don't believe me, but I saw it. And of course, there's the story of the cat that was giving birth to kittens. And at the same time, a duck gave birth to ducklings. And the cat adopted the ducklings, and the ducklings were actually nursing on the cat, on the mother cat, along with the kittens. And the I don't know who the host was, if she was like a veterinarian or had any kind of animal background, animal knowledge. But the ducks, apparently, when they are born, any animal, apparently, when it's born, if it's been through a traumatic experience, I guess they lost their mom, the duck. I don't know if the cat ate the mother duck. They didn't go into that. But the ducklings need a mother. And in the absence of a mother duck, they went to the cat. Or as the Russians say, kiat. Oh, my Russian neighbors. Real quick, an aside here, if you don't mind, an aside that my Russian neighbors that live behind me are the most inconsiderate idiots. They had some kind of dog that yelped loud barks. It was like a German Shepherd mix, but its bark was piercing, went through every wall of my house. And then that dog disappeared a few months ago, and now they've got these little dogs. They replaced the one a-hole dog with two little a-hole dogs. And by a-hole, I mean absolutely whole. Because they're not half a dog, they're whole dogs. These little dogs, they yip. And for some reason last night, they need to be together. When people get two dogs. They always get two dogs when they're little. They get two dogs at a time. I don't get that. Oh, one will keep the other company. Just be a good dog owner and keep your dog company. God. So they have, when I'm out of town, the two dogs keep each other company. Yes, whatever. So they separated the two little yippy dogs, and one of them is outside on a balcony over everybody's house in the neighborhood and is barking like a loudspeaker at 10:30 at night on a Saturday night, just yipping across the valley, the Podcaster Valley. Incredibly inconsiderate. So anyway, that was my aside. Okay, so back to cats. And so this cat, these little ducklings nurse on the cat along with the kittens. And then the little ducklings, they grow faster than the kitties. And they're walking around, and they actually showed video of the mother cat, like, disciplining the ducks, the little ducklings, because the ducklings were trying to escape and become more independent, and the cat was bringing the ducks back to the other cats. Like, no, you can't run away. Oh, it's an amazing video. It just makes you think about all kinds of things that you thought in nature. But because, usually in the circumstances, the cat would go after the duck and eat the little ducklings. But because the cat was in a motherly mode, she was looking out for the cats, the ducklings. And when the ducklings got bigger than the cat, they still followed the cat around. And I don't think there were any incidents after that. But that apparently happens a lot in nature. You probably know your story. I've heard of the story of the was it a horse adopting a different horses, what do you call the little horses? Geldings? Is it? That, like I say, I don't know my farm animals. Hey, look who's out here at Cafe Anyway.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, the gift shop supervisor. Cats are really cute.
They are. My lovely lady friend found some old pictures of me when I was not even 1 year old, and I'm petting a cat at my grandparents' house. So I guess I like cats. Although I'm allergic to them now, but I got to focus on one pet at a time, and that's the Basil the Boxer you heard earlier. Okay, look who else is here. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, yes, it's important. Sometimes you can't doubt people. Mm-hmm. Yes, but I really get upset when people doubt me. It's odd. You get these... I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? And there's some things that I have said to people about other people that I go, oh, so-and-so does this. And they said, no, they don't. That's someone else. Okay. Well, have you looked at the timing of things? Have you looked at the chronological order of what's going on? And you still doubt me? Oh, no, so-and-so would never do that. Okay. Just the proof is in the pudding is all I got to say, and that's what we got to learn. That's the schematics I have for you today. So good luck with everything that you do in your life, with your friends, be they animals, and the chances that you take, be they risky, and the things you do in life, be they interesting. And hopefully you got to catch me as I think I'm on the air right now as we are doing this on KKDV. I do that Sunday mornings. Catch it at kkdv.com. Ooh, happy birthday out to Carrie back in Huntsville, Alabama. I've also been thinking about Alabama because of my friend Carrie. And you don't know her, but I'm just going to say she's turning 50 today. I'm 50! And I turned 50 back in November. So we're both big fans of 80s music, and she had a great time. Apparently had someone from the Atlantic Rhythm section. I'm so into you, I can't see nothing else. Performed at her party in Huntsville, Alabama, and a big congratulations out to her. Next show, it will be the wonderful 50, by the way, is an awesome age. I do hope you get there someday. If you got there and you went there and you passed there, good for you. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Thanks for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com.
Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!